Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about B13 of the BCBA 5th edition task list on rule-governed versus contingency-shaped behavior. For those of us who just found us, my name is Amelia Mascioni from the Beautiful Mind Academy. We are on YouTube making videos, and we're going to go through that entire BCBA 5th edition task list to make sure that viewers are ready for that BCBA exam. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to comment on any of the videos. We do offer one-to-one and group sessions as well. So if you are interested in that, you can kindly email me or call me. You can even visit our website as we are a tutoring company that offer more than just the task list. So feel free to look at that. So let's get into rule-governed versus contingency-shaped. This is going to be a short video, so I'm hoping that it is short but concise. When we talk about rule-governed behavior, it refers to behavior that is under the control by a verbal or written instruction rather than immediate environmental contingencies. Okay, so this one's very important that we remember. It is a rule that is in place, verbal rule. So if someone just tells you to do something, or a written instruction. Okay, so it involves following a set of guidelines, instructions, or rules provided by others, which specify the appropriate behavior for that situation. Okay, and these rules can be explicit, so they can be clearly stated, or they can be implicit, which is implied. Now, it really doesn't matter. So what we're really looking for in these scenarios is it a verbal or written rule? Okay, and we want to then think about, is that behavior under control of that rule that was just read or listened to? Whereas our contingency-shaped behavior actually refers to directly shaping that behavior by its consequence. And this is something that we are very familiar with by now because we have that contingency, right? So think about here, contingencies typically are first, then, right? So this is very similar, right? First, we are, in this case, we're going to do this behavior, then it's going to be followed by a specific consequence. So it is not about verbal or written rules, rather it's actually learned through direct interaction with the environment. Okay, and of course this is, out of the two, contingency-shaped behavior is our stronger behavior that really does shape behavior because it is immediately followed by a consequence. Okay, so if we're looking at examples, let's go back to our rule-governed behavior. If we're looking at examples in a classroom, you might see there's rules written in the classroom. You know, you raise your hand when you want to talk. You sit nicely, you are sitting quietly. So if our students in our classroom read those rules and sit nicely, they're sitting quietly, then we can say that these are rule governed because those rules that were there did their job in changing that behavior or shaping that behavior or simply keeping the behavior the same. If these students already knew to do that, then they were just maintaining that skill. Whereas contingency-shaped behavior would be when a student raises their hand, they get praise or a token, part of their token system. Now we're talking about contingency-shaped because their behavior either will increase or decrease based off of the consequence. And in this case, we have that praise that directly is associated with them raising their hand. So it's part of their environment and happening right in that moment. Okay, so let's look at some questions that that I had made, and let's go through the differences, the reasons why it is one over the other. If you do have any additional questions or want to gain some clarification on these, let me know down in the comments and I will be more than happy to help. I'm going to also leave some of these questions for you guys. So for you guys who are listening, please let me know down below the answers to some of these questions, and let's make it interactive. So question 1. A child cleans their room promptly after their parent reminds them to do so. Does this scenario demonstrate rule-governed or contingency-shaped behavior? So if you need some additional think time, please pause the video because I'm going to dive right into the answers. So my first question is, 1, is it a verbal or written rule? So in this case, the parent reminds them to do. So it's a verbal instruction. Then, is it shaped directly in the environment? In this case, it's not. So because the parent is reminding them, okay, that's when we would say this is a rule-governed behavior. How do you think this could turn into a contingency-shaped behavior? Like I said, comment down below your ideas. So if we wanted this to be a contingency-shaped behavior, you would catch this child cleaning independently. So let's say they're cleaning their room. I would step in and I would praise them. Or if you're providing a sticker, you can provide stickers and do a system like this in the home as well. So those would be in the moment, right? And that sticker and that praise hopefully increases the likelihood that they're going to clean their room again, okay? For behaviors that are new, maybe this learner doesn't know that they have to clean their room, then you would ask them, right? Let's go clean your room. And while they're cleaning, you're providing praise or stickers or whatever other things that you want to do, making it a contingency-shaped behavior, okay? Number 2, an employee follows a set of written guidelines provided by their supervisor when completing a task at work. Does this scenario demonstrate rule-governed or contingency-shaped behavior? And in this case, again, you want to ask yourself those questions. Is it a written or verbal rule? If yes, it's rule-governed. If your answer, if the question is it in clear contact with the environment, then it's contingency-shaped. In this question, we are looking at written guidelines. Okay, so here we got a rule-governed behavior. 3, after receiving a speeding ticket, a driver slows down while driving past the area where they were previously pulled over. Does this scenario demonstrate rule-governed or contingency-shaped behavior? So, is there a rule, a written or a verbal rule specified here? No. Did something happen where now they've learned to do something? In this case, yes. So we have a driver who received a ticket. So they were driving fast, right? And they got pulled over and got a speeding ticket. From there, now their behavior is changed. It has been shaped into slowing down, right? So in this case, we are actually working with a contingency-shaped behavior because it happened in the environment for one, and it happened while they were doing this behavior. While they were driving fast, they got a ticket, okay? Now, if we wanted to turn this into a rule-governed behavior, then what we can say is there was a sign while driving to slow down, and I started to slow down, okay? So the difference here is I saw, I read, or I listened to the rule, and now my behavior changed because of it. Whereas in this example that's displayed on the screen, as in question 3 is, there was direct association from the behavior and the consequence, okay? I'm really hoping I'm making sense. Let's go to number 4. A student studies diligently for an exam after being told by their teacher that studying leads to better grades. Does this scenario demonstrate rule-governed or contingency-shaped behavior? For those of us who said rule-governed, yes, because we were told that it would lead to better grades. So our behavior was changed because of this rule that was stated to us. Okay. Now it could be contingency-shaped if, let's say, you studied, you did really great on that exam. Then you started to make the association, oh, when I study, I get really, really good on the exam. That's a direct link, right? Number 5, a dog sits and waits patiently for a treat when its owner picks up the treat jar. Does this scenario demonstrate rule-governed or contingency-shaped behavior? All right, so this one is a contingency-shaped behavior. So this dog has learned that every time my owner picks up that jar of treats, I get one. So sometimes we really do need to think about these questions and dig deeper in them. So in this case, the dog has a past history with this jar of treats where he must have gotten treats from this jar before to recognize that when that jar comes out, he does get one. So in this case, there was no written rule, there was no verbal rule, there was a clear contingency between the behavior of the dog and getting a treat, and the dog now knows this contingency. 6, a child eats all of their vegetables at dinner in order to receive dessert, which they know is a rule in their household. So does this scenario demonstrate rule-governed or contingency-shaped behavior? And this one is rule-governed. So for this, this one actually said, which is a rule in their household. So for this one, it is definitely rule-governed. How can we make this question a contingency-shaped behavior? And I'm going to leave this up to you. Comment below and let me know. For number 6, I want you guys to turn the question. The answer is currently rule-governed. If you can help me change it to become a contingency-shaped behavior. Let's move on to number 7. An individual stopped smoking cigarettes after experiencing negative health consequences such as shortness of breath and coughing. Does this scenario demonstrate rule-governed or contingency-shaped behavior? In this case, we are dealing with contingency-shaped behavior because this person is experiencing that shortness of breath and that coughing. So because of that, they are now making the decision to stop smoking because it has directly affected them. Number 8, a student raises their hand to speak in class without being reminded by the teacher because they know it is the classroom rule. Does this scenario demonstrate rule-governed or contingency-shaped behavior? I'm going to actually leave question 8 to you. I'm going to also leave question 9 and 10. I'll read them, but I would like to hear from you. So if you can kindly go back, look at the question, and then write number, whatever the number is, and answer the question. And then I will be looking to see if anybody replied, and I will comment back. So number 9, a person avoids walking in a particular neighborhood at night, or sorry, that's supposed to say night. Oh yeah, it does. At night after witnessing a crime in that area. Does this scenario demonstrate rule-governed or contingency-shaped behavior? And then number 10, a bird flies away from a predator after observing other birds in its flock doing the same when the predator approaches. Does this scenario demonstrate rule-governed or contingency-shaped behavior? So as I said, 8, 9, and 10, I'm going to leave it open as an open discussion. So feel free to answer 1, 2, or all of the questions. And that is all for us today. Thank you so much for everybody who listened in today, and everyone who is going to comment and participate. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for subscribing and continuing to listen. I hope these videos are helpful. If you do need additional one-to-one or group sessions, feel free to contact me and we can discuss how those sessions will be more individualized for you. Thank you once again. I'm Amelia, and I will see you in our next video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.